Hello, my friends. This is Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and welcome to hashtag mobilecrafts. This is our last week. This has been so much fun. And yes, I'm going rogue this week because I thought of so many more things that I remember doing while watching TV that I didn't put on the list. So this week's prompts are scraps, paper, fabric magazines. What can you do with those? You can punch shapes out of scraps, and you can let me see what I have written here. You can do the fussy cutting, and you can just make paper clusters, or you can make faux postage, just anything you can make out of those types of things that you want to cut up and make out of scraps, or any type of paper or fabric. You can make fabric clusters. You can make lace clusters. Any of those types of things are easy to do while you're watching TV because you don't need too many things to make those, right? And then I had options this month, of making envelopes, tearing fabric if you need to make some strips or some squares or whatever, or cutting the fabric. Glue booking, of course, is great to do while you're watching TV. Stamping on fabric or paper, organizing something, making journal covers, folding your pages, making altered paper clips. I was going to do that this week. Maybe we will. And then fabric flips are easy to do, and making cards. So what I'm going to do real quick here is show you something that how I get my ideas of what I want to do during while watching TV or going on a trip. I kind of get something, I'm doing things in my craft room. I notice something, oh, I need to do something with that. And I have something in mind that I want to do something with that. Is it something I can do while I'm watching TV? Do I have to be in my craft room to do that? And then I take it out to my TV tray that I told you about last week, where I do my crafting, a little TV tray in front of the couch. There you go. You have a little table. And so one thing I have been having in the back of my mind is using these file folders. This is what I'm talking about when I say going rogue, because it's not on the list, right? So this is a little file folder I made out of a file folder. So I have a bunch of file folders I've collected because I thought they were so pretty and I wanted to do something with them. And this is one thing I wanted to do with them, is make smaller file folders. So you can make the file folders any size you want. But this size is just kind of easy because you're just using half of the file folder. So, half here, half in another one, and you use up your whole file folder. So I'm going to show you how I made this really quick. And you just need a few things to take into the living room or wherever your TV is with you, and you're good to go. So I made that. And here's the other half of this one. So also with file folders like these decorated ones, you could fold them in half and make a journal cover out of them. Isn't that pretty? Or you can make little folios. So like you fold them in half and then fold up the bottom part here and make some little pockets. And there you go. You have a little folio. And again, could be a journal cover, right? So that's that file folder. I'm thinking about making this into a file folder too, but it's going to be a different size, I think. Yeah, it'll be a little bit different size. And I want to show you how I think I'm going to try and make these a uniform size so that if I want to use them or if I want to put them in my shop, I can say they're all this size, one size, not some random sizes that I just kind of did, right? So here's another file folder I have, and all I did was to cut off the bottom little fold, if you know what I mean, that bottom fold. So a little tiny strip there that we're going to cut off. And then, like I said, I want those to be the same size if possible. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did there. But this one, so what I would need to do is cut them off. See how this one's lower and this one's higher. So I need to cut them off where this one's going to be so that they can both be the same size. Otherwise, they're going to be different sizes. So, and I want them to be the same size. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can cut through 2 layers of this cardstock here. and get these even. So even, they're basically cutting out 2 even pieces of cardstock. I can punch these out with my paper punches and make some little things, right? So I'm going to keep those. So here's my 2 pieces of cardstock. These have a pretty color blue on the inside. So from here, I'm going to fold up. So basically I have my paper cutter. And one night I could just take a stack of file folders in there. See, I have a stack here and with my TV and cut the bottom off and, or you know, the tops off and get them into the size I want. Of course, that might not be enough for one night, so unless you have a bigger stack, that takes more time. But then from there, I'm going to fold them this way. So I want to, like I said, make them uniform. So I'm going to, I would also take my ruler in there, and I'm going to measure 1/2 inch from the top. So let me grab my pencil. So I would need a pencil with me in the other room and measure 1/2 inch. I'm going to make a very light pencil mark right here, and I can erase that later. And then go ahead and do this one too. 1/2 inch is right here. So that's where I want to fold up to. So I'm going to fold up to that. And I'm going to try it. This is a different, that one folded nice. Let me see if this one's going to be nice. No, this one's not going to be nice. Hold on. So in that regard, let me show you what I do. So I can see where I want it, about right there. And I'm going to make a little fold on this side so I can see where I need to score. And I just tried this and it worked. On that one I already showed you that was done. So what I have is my ruler, so I don't have to take my big scoreboard. My scoreboard is big, so I don't want to take that into the living room. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to unless I have to. So I made that little fold, not all the way down, and now I'm going to score with this. This is a little tool that I got from Dollar Tree. You know, it has this little pointy end here that you can poke through things, or it's actually for poking out your little die cut pieces, I believe. And it has this flat edge on this side. I'm going to use that for scoring here. So I have my ruler where that little fold is that I made up here, and I'm going to, you know, try to make a straight line here. So I have that, and I'm going to go like this with that little point there and do it a couple of times and see if this works. It worked on that one, but I think this file folder might be a little thicker. So that one I got at Dollar Tree, that flowered one I just showed you, so that might be a little thinner, but that was good for that purpose, right? This one, this flower folder is from Walmart, a little pack I got on clearance a few years ago. So, okay, I did that about 4 times, I know, but I just want to make sure it's nice and scored. So there's my score line. So now I'm going to see if that will fold nicely, or nicer than it was trying to fold on that, without a score line. Okay. You know, I think I need to score it on both sides. Possibly. Let me see. So right here. I tried it before the video because I wanted to make sure it worked. But I didn't try it on this thicker folder. I didn't think about that. And this one's trying to get, you know, on a thicker folder like this, or cardstock, or even like scrapbook paper, you have to be careful so it doesn't fold like wonky. That's why we score, right? One reason. So this tool, you have to make sure your little end stays on here so you don't end up poking yourself. And I've had to put it back on a couple of times here while I'm using it. Before the video I did. Okay, so now I'm scoring on both this side also. Let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Okay. Yeah, see, now it is folding. Yeah, that worked. So I had to score on both sides. Okay, now I'm folding, and now see, I also thought, I also figured out I could use this for like a little bone folder. So I just did this and got my fold all nice and flat. Okay, so if you have your, if you have a envelope punch board, you have a bone folder in that, so you wouldn't have to do what I just did, but I wanted to show you that in case you don't have an envelope punch board. So then, with my envelope punch board, you can make your tabs. And so I just, let's see, I measured that one 2.5 inches. So what I did was make my little punch here. So to make a tab, you just take your point here and put it in the middle of your envelope punch board, little opening here, you know, where it has this little opening. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about. Right in the middle. And I just kind of eyeball that and say, yes, it's right in the middle. I push it up into there and punch. And I have a little curvy thing like a tab on a file folder. And then, so like I said, I want these to be uniform. So I measured 2.5 inches over. And again, put a little mark with my pencil. 2.5 inches. So that's right there. Let's see. And you can make your tab any size you want. I just wanted it to be, for this size file folder, I thought that would be appropriate. So 2.5 inches. So I can see that little pencil mark, and then I put that right in the middle again of my little punch here. And punch. And there you go. And so usually I just take my paper cutter and my scissors and cut right here. But to keep it uniform again, like you know I never measure, right? But for this I wanted to measure. So I made a very light line here because my goal will be to cut off the line when I'm cutting this. So I know it's hard to cut a straight line and get it exactly right with your scissors or the paper cutter when making these, because I've made many of these before. And so a light line that I will be cutting off, so a nice straight line there. And then my scissors, I'm just going to cut right on that line. Right on that line. So I'm basically cutting the line off when I am doing this cutting. And it goes right up to my little curve there where my tab ends. And there we go. And then just take my paper cutter and, not my paper cutter, my corner rounder, round the corners. And you can do this with your, I should do it with my, like so I wouldn't have to have this tool in there. Do it with your envelope punch board because of course that has a corner rounder right here. So you really wouldn't need another tool into the living room or your TV area or on a trip. There we go. And there you have a pretty file folder. Doesn't that look pretty? And you can make these any size you want, like I said. Pretty inside. Use them for different things in your craft room. If you have a little basket or some kind of container that you want to use something like this for, just measure your width when you cut. Just cut that width, you know what I mean? So it will fit down in there. So, and then you can make yourself a bunch of these to organize whatever you want to organize, your ephemera or, you know, any type of papers, or maybe you want to make these for your office, you know, not just crafting, not just your craft room. Maybe you have some something to organize in your craft room. So postcards or something that will fit in here, or whatever size you want to make. You can make smaller ones. So that is that one. And I think we have time to make one more here. Should we make a different one out of a, well, I can make this one later and make one out of a different piece of paper. How about that? I think that would be fun. Let's pick out another one. So here's another polka dotty one that came with those. And then all of these came in a package here. All these different colors of kind of like paisley looking ones. So let's make a purple one. I don't know what color to choose. Oh, let's make a turquoise one. Yes. I just saw that color. There we go. That's a pretty one. Okay. So, if you don't care about them being the same size, you could just cut this off here, this right here, and, you know, have them different sizes, because they'll be different sizes, but I want them the same size, so I'm doing it this way. let's see, let's cut it right about there. Should get everything off that I need off. And these scraps will go on my scraps so that I can grab my punches and punch out something from these scraps. Because those are pretty, right? Okay, put those over there with my other scraps. And then cut the fold off too. That takes a little piece. I try to make that cut it where I cut off the fold. I try to make that cut as small as possible. Just a little sliver so that I'm not wasting, anything. See, so tiny, right? And so that's that. And I actually, am I done with this? Let me put this behind me so I have this out of my way actually. And then we'll get one of these made and see what these look like. Let's make it out of this because this is more of a challenge. Like, how is this going to look when I'm done, right, with the lines? Okay, and of course, look how pretty this one is inside. That's going to be pretty, right? So, again, this is the thicker one with the Walmart file folder. So I need to measure 1/2 inch down for my tab. Right there. So that's where I'm folding this piece up to. And I'm making a little mark here. We did it once, I know we can do it again. Right there, a little fold mark where I'm going to score. Get my ruler, where are you? Here you are. And score that. So if you want to bring your scoreboard in, you can to the living room. I just thought if this would work, it'd be nice. Not to bring, my scoreboard is like 12 by 12, so it would take up my whole TV table. But I would bring it in there if I really wanted it and just use it and then put it down on the floor next to me or put it away or whatever. So I'm going to do this the same way because that worked out really well and it looked really nice once I folded it on the score lines. So I did this side a few times. I wish it would just fold this way, but it just feels like it needs another. I wonder if I'm not pressing hard enough. Shall we do it one more time? Okay, I think it's out of the same line. It's hard to see that line in here. On the white, maybe that's it. Okay, so it's right there. I kind of like did this the first time. I like tilted it up a little bit and kind of just pushed my ruler into that corner, especially this first corner up here, and then straightened out my ruler. I made sure my ruler was straight like that. Okay, and then, I see my lid came off, so I keep on having to put that back on there so I don't poke myself at that pointy end. But, I don't mind just working with it a little bit so I don't have to bring my scoreboard. Maybe you have another type of tool. There are tools, I think, that are made for scoring. I just don't happen to have one, so I am making do with what I have. I'm going to push down a little bit more right down on this end because I think I kind of let up the pressure down here and see if that will work. I'm pressing really hard, as you can probably maybe tell. Okay, now let's see how that's a lot kind of deeper. Oh yeah, that worked better. Okay, so press really hard and then you don't have to do both sides. Okay, I'm glad we did a second one and experimented here. Yeah, that folded really nice. Okay, and look how pretty. Here's what it will look like inside. So you have, if you want to write in here, you could, type of thing. You could take it this way. Do a little writing in here. Isn't that nice? You could always use these for pages inside of a journal too, if you wanted to. Have a cardstock page. So, anyway, back to our little envelope punch board. I'm going to go ahead and cut this side and then I'll measure my tab. You can measure first if you want. And then go ahead and measure my 2.5 inches. I'm measuring from the side of the file folder there, the very side, 2.5 inches, right there. Okay, another punch. These are pretty quick too once you figure out how you want to make them. And then, you kind of like get a rhythm going and just, you know what you're doing once you've made a few or a couple, and there you go, boom. Just get them done. Light line that I'm going to cut off right on the line, right up to that curve. And you could leave the points if you want. I just always like to cut. I always like to cut the corners. Erase that little pencil mark there, and we'll use the envelope punch board corner rounder for all my corners on this one, because I always forget about it. I just automatically grab my corner rounder. Yeah, this does make nice corners too. So if you have one, you can almost use this for all your corner rounding needs. Okay, there you go. And another pretty file folder made that quickly. So there we go. And are they the same? They are. I can't believe it. So yeah, that's just an idea for another idea that I didn't put on the list. I wanted to throw it out there since this was the last week, and I forgot to put, I kind of just thought about the things that I usually do and not the things I do. Like this past week, or even last week, I was trying to think of what do I do that I didn't put on the list? You know what I mean? And I just like, oh, what about scrapbook paper and cardstock and stuff like that? So that's why I kind of like thought of this, because this is something actually I wanted to do. And look how cute. I'm so glad that I did it. Just cute little file folders made from file folders that I'm doing nothing with. And now they're like more usable to me anyway. I just don't use those big file folders. And that's what I bought them for, to do some paper crafting with. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the idea this week. And check out the other participants. Don't forget, if you want to participate, you can do any of the past weeks, or like go rogue like I did and just show us your idea, because we would love some new ideas. And check out Susan. She's always so artistic and has some great techniques, and she will astound and amaze you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you. Thank you for participating, all the participants. And if you participated at home, we really appreciate that, and your comments and everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I'll see you later. Have a great day and happy crafting.